This week at Gardner White Furniture, you'll save a bundle during our absolutely super sale. In fact, you'll save 15 to 58% on every item in Gardner White's $10 million inventory. Save on brand name furnishings like Broyhill, Bassett, Serta, Simmons, and more. And how's this for really super terms? Make not one single monthly payment for 6 full months. This week for super prices, super selection, and super credit terms, it's the super sale at Gardner White, where buying quality furniture makes sense.
Wasn't that oil spill in Alaska awful? Should never have happened. We sent John Scott up to Valdez to see exactly what is going on up there, and he found some very disturbing information. Here's John's report.
Hang in there, girl.
It isn't easy to watch the otters die, to see the birds blanketed with oil, blinking in fright and confusion. It isn't easy to look into the faces of the people who live along the Alaskan coast and to know that their spectacular land and water will never be the same. Oil, of course, is the culprit, but alcohol may be the real cause. Joseph Hazelwood of New York, the former captain of the Exxon Valdez, now faces charges of operating a vessel while under the influence of alcohol. The U.S. Coast Guard reports Hazelwood's blood alcohol level was way above acceptable limits when he was tested some 9 hours after the Valdez hit the rocks and 10 million gallons of oil gushed out. It's common knowledge on the streets of Valdez. When the tankers load up with oil for the trip home, a lot of the crew members load up with liquor. Even though they're forbidden to bring it on board in Valdez, they smuggle.
The only way they're going to effectively stop it is to implement a pat-down system.
Bev Slaughter sees the so-called tanker boys when they come into her Valdez liquor store.
They're not supposed to take anything through the gate. They have a security gate over there, just like you go through when you go on an airplane, and it picks up metal lids, so they want anything that's got a plastic lid on it.
One man came in nude to the waist and had him wanted to put alcohol bottles, pints or something around his middle and then used tape to tape it on.
Valdez City Councilwoman Sally McAdoo told pipeline company executives what the community was telling her. The tanker boys were getting tanked. That was at a public meeting several weeks before the Valdez hit the rocks.
The concern now has come true, and since the captain was found to be drinking and since we know that alcohol was involved, our concerns and the community concerns were valid concerns.
Exxon fired Captain Hazelwood after the accident. He then disappeared for more than a week. When he resurfaced, he was arrested and jailed with bail originally set at $1 million. But no punishment can restore what's been done to Prince William Sound. Its icy waters and glacier-cut bays now smeared with a 10 million gallon mistake.
No matter what Exxon does or the government does in the way of a cleanup, many Alaskans are saying their state can never recover. On this rock outcropping, we are at least 50 miles away from the tanker. And even here, these rocks are covered with slimy crude.
With local wildlife paying the price for man's mistake, Valdez residents turned their community college into an emergency hospital for treating birds and sea otters.
We have the animals all lined up outside when they're brought in off the ship or off the plane or helicopter. We decide who's the worst case, who's the best case, who will survive, who we don't think will survive, but we're going ahead and de-oiling all of them.
We haven't turned her over yet.
You haven't even turned them over?
No.
God.
Yeah, it's just thick.
This is the worst one.
You could run your car for a week on this. Easy.
We spend approximately 2 hours washing each animal. There's 3 different stations set up in there. And then once they're washed, they're dried with towels and put into a kennel cage or some sort of holding cage. And then once we get through that, we'll put them into a small holding pool and just watch for temperature regulation and quality of the fur.
The thing that tugged the most at my heartstrings was being present when one male sea otter died. It was under a great deal of stress, and to watch him slowly fade away was pretty heavy duty.
The otters of Prince William Sound compete with the local fishermen to catch food. Nevertheless, even some fishermen are volunteering to try to save the animals' lives.
When they're paying the price for Exxon's stupidity, you know, I hope criminal charges are brought for the willful destruction of the entire wildlife habitat in Prince William Sound.
But for every bird and otter saved, uncountable others will die. They've never experienced oil before, so they have no innate sense to stay out of it. And so they become coated with a smelly, sticky poison that robs them of their ability to shed water. And thus exposed, they freeze to death.
Scientists are frightened about the effect the spill will have on the bald eagles of Prince William Sound. This is one of the largest concentrations of our endangered national symbol anywhere. They feed in these now polluted waters. Oiled feathers will not fly, and oiled eggs will not hatch. And there is tremendous worry about what the oil has done and will do to the fishing. Already this year's herring season has been canceled in Prince William Sound, costing the fishermen here tens of millions of dollars. Salmon season isn't here yet, but everyone's afraid it too will be affected. Research indicates even the slightest amount of oil will kill young salmon just after they hatch. If that happens, the harvest here could be in trouble for years to come.
If it starts affecting the salmon, it's going to be an absolute disaster. It's just going to be a disaster to no end. I mean, big chunk of Alaska's economy. This is a major blow to the fishing industry and everything, you know.
The fishermen see their boats and equipment covered with oil. Most have taken to the water, either as volunteers or as temporary employees of Exxon, in a desperate battle to collect the oil and then skim it from the water.
I'm angry at Exxon for not monitoring their crews, tanker crews better, and taking more care. And you know, this whole accident should have never happened.
Nobody will be able to fish out here, and that'll wreck our lives because that's what we do, or all our parents do for a living.
You too someday, huh? You hope?
Yep.
Oil money has done great things for Alaska over the last 20 years. Its roads are paved using the money it makes taxing oil. There's no state income tax or sales tax. Oil money takes care of that. Just the interest on oil revenue is so great that every resident who spent at least a year in Alaska gets a windfall check. Last year, it amounted to more than $500 per person. Towns like Valdez, with just a few thousand residents, have incomparable facilities. Brand new libraries and schools, police and fire departments, city halls and senior centers. But despite all these oil-borne benefits, the spill is forcing people to ask whether they've paid too high a price.
Alaskans made a decent living off the water since long before the oil came in and made this state wealthy. Now the men and women who go after the salmon and the herring are bitter. They say this accident is proof that oil and water don't mix.
Some fear that when the cameras go home and national media attention moves on to something else, Alaskans will be forgotten, left alone to deal with the mess. The state's governor is pledging not to let Exxon off the hook that easily.
No way, no way. Let me tell you why. The whole world is watching Exxon's response on this one. The Congress is watching it. Foreign governments are watching it. The state of Alaska sure as hell is watching it. And there's no way that this is going to get swept under the rug.
Nevertheless, the governor this week called for the federal government to take over the cleanup effort. The oil has now spread over an area larger than the state of Delaware, and President Bush is said to be considering sending in military troops to help mop up the mess. Exxon has apologized for the spill and taken full responsibility. The company acknowledges, though, that what's been done cannot be undone, and there's no way to make Prince William Sound as pristine as it used to be. Yesterday, Exxon salvage crews managed to free the grounded tanker. Temporary repairs are now underway. And the man who captained that ship toward disaster is free as well, out of jail on a reduced bail of $25,000. High anxiety is now firmly anchored in Prince William Sound. Signs of trouble are in the air. One local motel is flying its flags at half staff. The owner says it's due to the death of the environment. The birds, the otters, and the people. Their very lives depend on these waters, and these waters could be deadly for a very long time.
It's so fragile up there, John, that these people are going to be suffering, as you pointed out in your story. Did you see any Were they aware of the future?
They are worried about the future, I'll tell you that. They know that so much of their economy is based on the fishing industry there. And if the fishermen aren't going to be able to go out and catch this year, it could really hurt a lot of those people.
And they'll have to move out of there.
Some of them very, very possibly.
Okay, John, thanks for that report. Straight ahead, our very nearly famous top 5 tabloid headlines of the week, an experience you may never forget.
Do you know what your credit report says about you? It could be the most important information you'll ever read. Every time you apply for credit, whether it's for a new car, a new home, even a charge card, the information in your credit report can make the difference between a yes and a no. But now you can find out what your credit report says about you with TRW Credential Service. It's a whole new way to take control of your credit. As a member, you get to review your TRW credit report as often as you wish. It's the same one banks and stores see when you apply for credit, so you'll know exactly where you stand. But there's more. With Credentials, you're notified when anyone looks into your credit file for any reason. No one will ever look into your credit again without your knowledge. Your membership also lets you apply for credit more easily than ever before at thousands of locations. Credentials even protect your credit cards in case of loss or theft. Now, that's a lot of control over your credit, but the cost of membership in TRW Credential Service is just $35 for a full year. To begin your Credentials membership, call 1-800-592-1500. Call now, and you will also receive this money-saving credit guide and solar-powered calculator free with your membership. Call 1-800-592-1500 now to join TRW Credential Service. As soon as your membership is activated, you'll receive a copy of your credit report so you can see what it says about you. You'll be notified when anyone looks into your credit file, and you'll receive all the benefits of membership, plus your free credit guide and calculator, and free updates of your credit report as often as you wish. Isn't it time you took control of your credit? Find out what your credit report says about you. Call 1-800-592-1500 now and have your Visa or MasterCard ready when you call.
The fans are out in full force. It's baseball season again. We'll have complete coverage of opening day excitement and a police crackdown of scalping tickets, drinking, and partying outside Tiger Stadium. I'm Rich Meg. Join us for this story and much more coming up on News 4 beginning at 5.
Stop all that tossing and turning. Sleep on a waterbed gallery system for the guaranteed lowest price of the year. This bookcase waterbed is $189. Matching 6-drawer pedestal is $95 now through Monday.
Time now for our regular Friday feature, the top 5 tabloid headlines of the week. Now, there has been some confusion about just where these headlines come from. Well, they come from the minds of people we definitely do not want living next door. And these headlines are on display at fine shops throughout America. Number 5. Noah's Ark found in Gobi Desert. Remains of intelligent two-legged lizard people discovered on board. No sign of Noah. Number 4. Wife's ghost still cooks and cleans for husband. She's been dead for 20 years, but still does his shirts. Number 3. TV anchor girl Connie Chung read the news in her underwear. Number 2. Space aliens use classified ad for UFO rendezvous. Watch out, Earth women Martians are looking for dates. And our top tabloid headline of the week. Lucille Ball fan watches 208 straight hours of I Love Lucy and says, Desi Arnaz's spirit possessed my body. Neighbor says he thinks I'm Fred Mertz. A shocking story. And we'll be back in a moment. We need some time to recover after that.
Is your life full of surprises? Plenty of action? Lots of thrills and spills? Then you need a Carpet Machine Plus by Bissell. The Carpet Machine Plus is a professional-style cleaning machine for whole rooms of carpet. Quick, deep cleaning of surprise spots and spills. High-traffic areas, plus upholstery, sofas, chairs, and so much more. So don't rent, Deep clean anytime you like with the powerful Bissell Carpet Machine Plus.
Only $159.97 now at Kmart.
The women in my family have always had beautiful skin. Are we born with it? Who knows? We've always used Pond's. Now Pond's has made its first water-rinsable cold cream. I'll show you. See how light it is? And it removes dirt and makeup soap leaves behind. Then rinses clean away. New Pond's water-rinsable cleanser cleans like no soap can. And the beauty of it is, it's Pond's.
Burlington Coat Factory. Our middle name is Coats. More coats than you ever saw in your life under one roof. All far below normal retail prices, because the owners of Burlington Coat Factory are America's largest wholesalers of ladies' coats. That's why Burlington can offer thousands of all-weather coats for ladies, men, and children, with famous labels like London Fog and Misty Harbor at fantastic savings. Burlington Coat Factory, America's #1 place to save on the coat you want.
I'm Mort Krim. If you care about your community, here are 2 organizations that could use your help. The Civic Park Senior Center needs visitors for homebound seniors. And the Child Neglect Council, County of Oakland, is seeking volunteers for educational programs in the area of child abuse. Call today. Join the Care Force.
Time to Care is supported by the Comerica Bank and AAA Michigan and presented by WDIV.
Coming up Monday on Inside Edition, a showbiz feud, a nasty one, between comedian Jackie Mason and a billionaire.
On Inside Edition, comedian Jackie Mason and billionaire Abe Hirschfeld were bosom buddies, but then they had a tiff.
I didn't need you, and I didn't need anybody.
I don't need nothing from Jackie.
Abe says he helped relaunch Jackie's career.
I sparked this whole sparkle of life in Jackie Mason.
Jackie says,
And you had nothing to do with my life, you pig.
Blow by blow in the feud on Broadway.
That's Monday on Inside Edition. Thank you for watching us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.
I'm Mort Krim. Neither cold nor gloom of day have stopped the Detroit Tigers from winning their home opener before a packed house at Tiger Stadium. However, a leaking semi-trailer truck on I-75 may stop many of the Tiger fans from getting home before dark. And in Ann Arbor, the University of Michigan gets the bill for damages from last Monday's chaos. We'll have these stories and more up next on News 4.
Hi, I'm going to check out a new lottery game you play along with Super Lotto. It's called The Zinger. Sounds like fun, huh? Come on. To play, just pay an extra $1 and mark yes on your Super Lotto bet slip. If you don't want to play, simply mark no. Well, of course. Okay, I've got a Zinger number with a yes printed next to it. Now let's jump ahead to that big TV drawing night. Well, it's that big TV drawing night I was talking about. And I've matched all 6 Zinger digits, winning $100,000. Naturally, I'm happy. I think I'll throw a party. Decent turnout. But before we get too carried away with all this, let's see what could have happened had I marked no. Well, they still printed a Zinger number on my ticket, and it's a winner. But because I marked no, I don't win a thing. Gosh, I'm feeling low. Overall, marking yes seems better. Yep, much better. Music's better, too.
Say yes to the Zinger, or you could be saying no to $100,000.
Who'll win $50,000 Saturday night at 7:30 only on 4.